Stabilize.
Everybody stand back! Shut up! Flood of frost! Crush! Eye for an eye!
Solidify. Rise.
Shine down! I'm going in! Beg for mercy! Freeze to the core! Rack and ruin!
Hello and welcome to everyone to this guide. Today we will talk about Eula and her best combat style, artifacts, weapons and constellation and other words and team comp and showcase. Let's get started with the video. Now let's get started with the play style of Eula. As we all know, Eula is a unique character that she's physical damage, maybe the only physical damage in the game. So let's get started with her combos. For the normal attacks, Eula has 5 combo chain normal attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4 and the 5th one. As we all said, the 5th one is really slow, so ideally you want to do just 4 normal attacks and then cancel by dodging and do another 4. Ideally, this is what you want to do with her normal attacks. For the skill, you have 2 modes. There is the tap mode and the hold mode. If you hold it, it will reduce the enemy resistance to physical, but you need stacks for it to do more damage. So if you just tap the skill, her robe will start to glow. If you collect 2 stacks with that, the next hold will do way more damage and also will reduce the physical damage resistance for the enemies. Now for her ultimate. So if you use Eula's ultimate, you need to collect stack that will doing normal attacks and skills. The best way to do that is to tap a skill and then do your ultimate. Then you have another skill, you can just hold it and you will have 2 stacks because the ultimate gave you another stack. Or you can just tap it to have the most optimal way. If you use the tap it and then use the ult, tap it again and you will have the room to do another hold before the ultimate ends. That way you have the best optimal way to collect stacks for Eula. And talking about her talents, for her talents they are all important, but the ult is the most important one, and you can mix between the normal attacks, which are the next priority for you, and then the skill. But there is an information for you. This skill does a lot of damage if you do the hold one after collecting the 2 stacks, so you can put that also in mind. For her other talents, there is 2, as I said earlier. One, if you have 2 stacks with the tap E and you unleash the hold version of it, after that it will do more damage. And the second one, after unleashing your ultimate, you will have one of the stacks that you need for the hold E. And her adventure talent is a 10% to double protection of the challenge box, which is very useful. Now let's talk about the artifacts. Her best artifact set is the Pale Flame, because it does give you 25 physical damage, and it does give you, when using your skill on attack, and another 25 physical damage. So it's the best option. But if you don't have it, you can just mix between the Pale Flame and the other physical damage set, the Bloodstain. You can have just two sets if you have this one. And also, if you don't have it, you can just use two noblesse, two shiminawa, or any other attack to raise your attack, or noblesse, as I said, to piece noblesse to raise the ultimate damage. And you can just max the most important thing is the substat. And as for the substat, the best thing you will need is of course the crit rate and crit damage first, then you want some energy recharge and attack percentage. First you will need to focus on the crit rate, crit damage, and then you will need to focus something about the energy recharge. I do have it low for me, to be honest. I do need more, but I have Raiden, and I do put a lot of times here Diana, so it's enough if you have the right teammate for her. So your energy recharge requirement will depend on the team you are running. Raiden does lower it a lot, especially if you are using her ult to regenerate energy. Of course, here Bennett and Jungle don't really generate much, but if you run Diana or Rosaria, they are way too good for energy. But other supports like Mika are not very optimal for the energy region, or Layla too, even if they are ice, but they are not really that good in generation energy. As for the main stats and of the artifacts, uh, for your Sen, you will need attack most of the time. It's very much worth it to go for energy recharge because you lose a lot there. 51 energy recharge, it's really a lot. Of course, you will need here physical damage and crit rate of crit damage as far as you will need. For her stat, you can go lower on crit rate if you want to crit fish, because Eula is a big damage heavy character, relies on her also a lot. So you can just crit fish if you want in the abyss, or if you want to show big numbers, because that's also another part of her. But minimum you will need at least the high 50s, or 60 is at least ideal, but 50, if you have 50 you can work around it. Now let's talk about her weapons. There is a lot of good 4-star climbers for Eula, even as free to play. There is this Sea Lord. If you did the event for it, it does give you a lot of elemental burst damage, and that's really good for Eula. But the problem is that the second stat is attack. It's not as valuable sometimes, but it's quite good in this perspective. And there are two this free to play that you can get now, which is this one and this one, the prototype, and this physical damage. They are all similar in damage, so it doesn't make much difference. Go with the one with you. For the best 4-star for her, Serpent Spine is best by far. Any other 5-star, it does give you a lot of crit rate, but it does have a low attack with that. But also the passive is very well with her, but it's a battle pass weapon, so it's not worth it that much, to be honest. If you don't buy battle pass, it's not worth it to put $10 to get just one weapon. And also the Akomaru is really good 4-star for her, because it does give you also damage for the ult, but you will need to put some characters that have really high energy requirement for the ult, like Raiden or Beidou, and some other characters like that to benefit from it. Now for the 5-stars, they are really close and good. Her weapon, the Song of Broken Spines, it's good for her, of course. It's designed for her, but also the Wolf Great Sword is not far off from the damage that the Song of Broken Spine can put. And also the H weapon can be really good for her, or even the weapon for Dea. And then in a much lower grade, you have the Skyward Pride and the Enforce. They are good because they have high stats. The Enforce has a lot of attacks in the probably you will have a shielder with Eula to not interrupt you during your ult, so you can benefit from it. And the Skyward Pride, it is good, but you will lose something from the energy recharge substat if you have some energy recharge in your artifact. Now let's talk about the constellation. Her constellation can make her, to be honest, very good. I mean, we all know how much a whale Eula can put. It does like millions of damage, so her constellation can make her one of the overpowered characters in the game. But as her C0, she is really quite nice. She's not very strong, but she's not very weak. She's balanced, she's in the middle out there. If we talk about her constellation, her C1 is very good if you are a low investor that you want to put some money and you love the character. It does give you some good damage, but her C2 is whatever. Her C3 is good, but it's just levels, so it does give you 3 levels for your ult, so it's good damage also. C4 is not that good, to be honest. Most of the time you will face opponents that have higher HP than 50%. It's not likely that you will face opponents that have less than 50%. And even if they have, most likely they will die either way, even if you don't have this constellation. For the C3, C5, it's not good, but I mean that's like all the character. It's 3 levels for your skill. And the C6, here is the broken constellation, of course, because this one give you 5 stacks just like that when you put your ult, and it does give you more stacks, a 50% chance to grant another stack additional to the stack of the energy. With this C6, she can push really some big damage, but is it worth it? I mean, that depends on you. What you have in the box, that's also depending on you. If you have a lot of money you want to put in the game, it's worth it. But if you, of course, if you don't have, no, it's not worth it. It's just a game. You can have fun with the character at C0. She's good at what she's doing, so just like that, you don't really need to spend to get her C6 that broke the game. You will have fun just with C0. And now for the team comps. You will have a lot of team comps, but the first character that you will need to put is a Electro character. Raiden is very good with her because she can regenerate energy, she can do coordinated damage with Eula, so you can put superconducts in the enemies, and she also have a really good damage. And if you put Bennett with them, they can both benefit from him, because he will benefit from Eula and Raiden, so you can just do 2 cycles with him. His ult is very fast, so you can just push him and they will both benefit from him. Zhongli, of course he's good, but he's not that good in the energy wise, so if you have some energy issues, you can just put Diana. If you want to put Venus in another team, you can have here Rosaria and she will do the work, but you will need her C6 to benefit the most from her. It was easy, to be honest, to have C6 characters when the game started, so I do have her C6, even I don't spend that much in the game. I do have her C6, so if you have her C6, she can be quite good with her. Or you can go even wilder and push her in a team with Hyper Bloom. I mean, everything is working. Hyper Bloom is so broken in the game, so why not to push her in that team? But if we go back to the physical change, you can also put instead of Raiden Fischl. She is a good alternative for Raiden. She does have a good damage and also a good battery. Beidou is good, but she's energy hungry too, so it can make some problems for you if you have two energy hungry characters in the same team. And also Lisa is quite good, but also energy dependent, so they are not that good at generating energy easily. And for whatever reason, if you want to play Dore, she will work. And sometimes I even go wilder and put Kazuha in here because I just love Kazuha. And I do the first cycle with Eula and Raiden and Bennett, and the second cycle with Bennett and Raiden and Kazuha Sword Electro. It's working well. It's fun to use, to be honest. But it's really like you can just put here electro character and you can have another two character that will help you with your damage. And don't forget that C6 Bennett doesn't work with Eula, so if you have a C6 Bennett, it won't work well. It will convert her normal attack into fire damage, so that won't work. Cookie Jumbo also can be good doing the superconduct and also healing the team. And also for Mika, to be honest, is not worth it in the team with Eula. A lot of characters can work very well with her, better than him, even if he is a physical dedicated support. But he isn't working well with her. You can just have more damage with Bennett. Even if you have his T6, he's still underwhelming, to be honest, compared to other characters. And that's it for this video. If you like it, put like, share it, and subscribe to the channel to see more Genshin and Honkai video and other games also sometimes. And enjoy this video for the Abyss. I will just do one floor because this Abyss is absolute pain, to be honest, and it's not very optimal for Eula, but check this part of the Abyss and enjoy it. See you in another video.
Shine down into the wind. I'm going in. Vengeance will be mine. Rack and ruin. Illusion shell.
The wind knows me. Fallen leaves adorn my...
Everybody stand back. Torn to oblivion.
Into the wind. Time to go.
I'm going in. Crush. Freeze to the core. Eye for an eye.
One with nature. As one with wind and cloud.
Everybody stand back. Now you shall perish. Vengeance will be mine. Rack and ruin. There is no escape.